Hello, this is Lawbreakers. It's an FPS game that's currently in its first phase of closed beta, and I was fortunate enough to get an invite. I would describe this game as kind of a mix between Overwatch, Quake, and Unreal Tournament. It is very fast paced, it's very fun, which is why I enjoy it, and I wanted to share it with you in case you haven't seen it or you have and you want some information about it. I'm going to try and go through it as quickly as possible. There is so much stuff that I could talk about in this video, but the video simply becomes too long, so I'm just going to try and skip through it as quickly as possible. So sorry if I missed some stuff. I can answer some questions in the comments. So coming on to the main menu very quickly, you have obviously the play button. The quick match is just a simple matchmaking system. They have custom game, which I'm assuming will have different settings. I don't have any idea what, so I can't really talk about it. Currently the quick match is 5 versus 5. I'm assuming that's what they're going for. You have tutorials, self-explanatory, news, self-explanatory. The customization is simply a skin system for your character, so you get in-game currency. There's currently no way to buy skins with real money. Maybe there will be in the full game. I'm not sure. Right now there isn't really that many skins as it is closed beta. You can buy skins for your characters, for your weapons as well, and your secondary weapon. So really it's just just a standard skin system. As you can see, the game has characters. It's like Overwatch. Currently there is Law and there is Breakers. These are the two factions or the two sides. You have 7 characters currently in the game. Or sorry, 7 classes: the Vanguard, Enforcer, Titan, Assassin, Gunslinger, Juggernaut, and Battle Medic. So they all have their own purpose in the game, just like with any class-based system. And then you have a character per side. So overall there is 14 characters, but they do the same thing. Like the Vanguard is the same. They have the same skills. The same weapon is completely the same. It's just 2 different characters. Then you have your stash box. This is of course where you get your skins and stuff and your coins to unlock stuff. Profile, it has a lot of stuff on here: account progression, statistics, your match history. It's pretty well documented. Everything is documented. You have a lot of achievements and stuff to get as well. Settings, everything is very standard in here. I am currently playing on everything on Ultra because the optimization on this game is very good for Unreal 4 engine. I currently, even though my PC is still very good, I get like 150 FPS roughly on Ultra, like 200 plus on low. So it's very nice for an Unreal Engine game. You have field of view, 110. Everything is good on here. It's basically what you expect right now. So let's get into a game. Very quickly, while we're in this menu, as you can see, it's 5 versus 5. There is 2 game modes. One is called Overcharge. It's kind of hard to explain. You'll see it in the game. It's basically like a capture the flag system where each team has to, there's like a battery in the middle of the map and you have to take it to your end of the map and then it charges up. It's essentially capture the flag. Then the other mode is essentially domination. It's like domination or hard point. It's like you have to take the point. It moves around the map. Also, you can see here I have a Discord symbol. This is because the game uses Discord for its in-game voice. Essentially what happens is you will be put into a temporary lobby in Discord, and then you can choose to join the lobby if you wish. So if you don't, then you don't have to speak with your team, but you can if you want to. So I'm very briefly going to try and talk about the characters. I can't really go into too much depth because it would take too long, but I will post a couple of gameplay videos where you can see more on them on my channel. So the difference about this game and Overwatch is that this game actually requires quite a lot of aim, some really good tracking aim, similar to that of Quake and Unreal, and the movement is very fast. It requires pretty good movement and just fast reactions in general. It's like a Twitch shooter. The other difference is that the ultimates and stuff, you have skills. The ultimates don't charge with damage, they just have a cooldown period. I don't think this can be affected in any way. So this first character, the Vanguard, I would kind of compare to Pharah. She has a minigun that you hold mouse 1. The longer you hold it, the faster it shoots. You have a right click that pushes people back and probably does some damage as well. This is good to counter the assassin. You have an E which throws some grenades, and you have your left shift is like to fly around and stuff. So this recharges over time, and your ultimate is called Starfall. This basically sends you up in the air. You can then choose where you want to land, and if you land directly on someone, it does AoE damage, and it will kill them if you land directly on them. So this character is called the Enforcer. It's your very basic run and gun character. You have your sprint meter, which is, it gives you sprint, obviously. This guy here, but you also can reload faster, and it will make your fire rate faster as well. But not only for you, but for your teammates in the vicinity as well. You have your E, which is basically a grenade. It's an EMP grenade. It will do minor damage on impact, and it will also, as an EMP grenade does, it will stop people from using their skills for a few seconds. You have your secondary weapon, which is some kind of like pistol shotgun. The secondaries in this game are actually quite powerful, and you also have your ultimate. Let's see if I can use it here, which is kind of like McCree's like auto lock kind of thing. So yeah, it's like you aim on people and then you press it and it automatically goes to them. I think they can probably like dodge the rockets. It's not like McCree's where it's instant. It's not hit scan. It actually has like projectiles, so I think you can like hide behind something if it's locked onto you and they shoot, and it won't hit you. It will hit the wall instead. So this is the Enforcer. So next we have the Titan. This is kind of the tanky character. The thing about this game is that even the tanks do a lot of damage and have like relatively good movement. Everyone can move quite a lot, so I'll kind of get into it later, but the class system is kind of strange because they don't really follow conventional like systems. So for this guy, you have a rocket launcher. With this rocket launcher you can shoot, and then you can actually right click and it will blow up your rockets like where you right click. So it's very easy to actually kill people. Not sure if I like this because I feel like the rockets are very easy to hit that way. It kind of removes like the aim element, but the game is very fast, so I can kind of see why they would add it. You then have your secondary weapon, which is like a laser gun. This is also very strong as well. Your E is like a sticky grenade. It will like suck people in if they like go near it. It won't kill them, but I think it just keeps them in place for a little bit. You have your left shift, which is like kind of a crazy jump. If you land on them, obviously it does damage as well. I'm about to get my ultimate here, as you can see it in the bottom left, in a few seconds, so I will show you that when I can. The ultimate on this character is very strong. I actually might be able to kill all these people here. So when I go into this ultimate, I get like more HP, and I kind of go into like, I like to call crazy wizard hands mode. And I can, well, they all ran away from me. They're kind of scared. You can't use any of your other skills and stuff while you're in this. But you can see like I did quite a lot of damage, and I'm quite tanky as well. There's a guy here too. So the Titan is basically the off-tank character in this game. So now we're on to my favourite character. This is the Assassin. It's very similar to Genji, but it's kind of like Genji on steroids. What you have to imagine is like this game is like Overwatch, or even the character is just on steroids. So basically, you have your standard, slashing. It does a lot of damage. You have your left click, your secondary weapon, which is a shotgun. This is actually very powerful as well. It's very good. You kind of have the best of both worlds in a lot of characters that you can do melee and range damage. You don't really have too many, disadvantages. There probably will be when there's higher level play, but right now the Assassin is kind of the character similar to Genji in Overwatch, where you can just like stomp noobs, but it's kind of hard to play it versus actual people with aim. So the shotgun isn't a hit scan; it's like a projectile, but it's still pretty powerful. You have your E, which throws you can see like an effect on the floor, and this basically makes it so the character's in a very short amount of time. It's like 1 second at most. It means that they can't fire projectiles at you. It's kind of like Genji's deflect, like it's the defense. Your left shift. Now, the best thing about this character is the whole movement system. It's incredible. You have your shift is kind of like a dash. So you have your dashing, but the greatest thing about this movement mechanic is that when you use your right click, it's kind of like a swing. It's like you hang on like a monkey, and you can just slice this person up. You can make some really great like moves with movement with it. So, for example, you can come out here. We'll talk about the gravity system before, but you can really like swing around the map. It's like you could practice this. You get really good at it. This is the character that I've played by far the most, so I'm actually quite good at like moving around the map with it because I've been playing it loads. But you can kind of tell how like fun this is to just swing around. It's really fun. I just kill this. Oh. It's really good for both attacking and defensive as well. Like you can get out of situations. You can get around the map incredibly fast. Basically, as I said, it's like Genji on steroids. You can play swing around everywhere. Let's get on to the ultimate. So the ultimate kind of does like a dash thing, and then you kind of get like a wall hack thing, so you can kind of see people. Whether this is a good thing, I'm not sure, but it basically means you become like, just generally knowledgeable of stuff that's around the map. I am dead. Okay, moving on to the Gunslinger. This character is also very cool. This is probably my second favorite. Or maybe even on par with the Assassin. This is kind of like a Tracer character, but again, you have like the best of both worlds. On your left click, you have kind of a pistol machine gun, which is very powerful, and on your right click, you essentially have a rail gun. You can make some seriously good shots with this. The registration in this game is really good. I haven't got any problems with hit reg. You also have a blink system, these people just keep appearing. The problem is I can't really go into a custom move because it doesn't exist. So you can blink around, similar to Traces. It's pretty much exactly the same system. Your E is a throwing knife, which does damage when it lands, but it also gives you that red circle, and that basically means that you can see people for like a second. Like if it lands near them, then you can see that they're, you know, on the other side of the wall, kind of like a sonar. And your Q ability kind of goes into like a steroid. You know, you just run around. You can't actually stop it. You just control it and you just shoot loads. But as I was saying earlier, the game isn't very ultimate heavy at all. So a lot of the time you actually will die because you use that, when you could actually just use your normal attacks like your right and left click, and you would actually do more DPS. So yeah, this is the Gunslinger, very cool character as well. So this next one is your main tank character. This is called Juggernaut. Generally the game I feel is quite balanced. It's hard to tell because obviously I'm not playing with really very good players a lot of the time, and it's not like a 5v5 scenario, but I feel like maybe the Juggernaut is a little bit underpowered. But it's hard to tell because sometimes when you do, like, people do class stacking and they just stack the Juggernaut tank with a medic, it's really hard to counter. But we'll just go anyway. So the left click is basically like it's a pump shotgun. It doesn't do too much damage, but if you stay alive long enough, you know, you can wreck people. Your right click is to stab people, does a lot of damage. Your E is like it puts up a shield. It's kind of like Reinhardt. The thing about this shield is I feel like the shield is kind of useless a lot of the time because you can't actually shoot through the shield on your side. But you know, the game has so much movement characters that the shield doesn't really ever stop people, because people can just like move around, and obviously you can't see through it, you can't shoot. It doesn't really give you any advantage apart from blocking doors, but most people can get over it anyway. Your shift is to like a sprint system, and you know, if you hit people it does damage. You can jump up, and then if you hit it again you smash to the floor and it does like AoE damage. You also have your ultimate, which basically just means you go into like a strong armor mode, so when you're getting shot from the front you don't take much damage at all. You know, it's a pretty standard kind of system for a tank character. I just want to kill this guy. Yeah, so this is the Juggernaut character. So lastly you have the Battle Medic. He is even still quite strong, even though he is a healer class. You don't really see much of him in the game just because it's like solo queue. So let's go through his skills. You have kind of a gun like Junkrat. Your left click is like a grenade launcher on impact, and then you have your right click, which is like it bounces. Your E is to send out a drone. As you can see, well, you didn't really see it, but it like sends out a healing drone, so it will like heal your teammates and give them, you know, give them a little bit of a shield. Your left shift is your movement ability, like many other characters. So you just press your left shift once, and you hover at the height that you start, and you use less fuel. But you can press space, and you can go higher, but you'll consume more fuel. So it's kind of good because it gives you at least some options of what kind of height you want to float at. But in the end, you're always going to hit the floor because you will run out of fuel. Your Q basically gives you a big shield around you, and this will like push enemies out if they're in the vicinity of you doing it, and it's an impenetrable shield, so they can't take any damage while they're inside it. So yeah, that's the Battle Medic. He is still quite strong. He does do quite a lot of DPS. His bombs do a lot of damage, and I guess he's kind of fun to play. I want to try and very quickly talk about some of the map elements and some like miscellaneous stuff. Sorry the video is very long. Well done if you're still with me. So as I said, there is 2 game modes, and there's currently 4 maps. One of the biggest factors about this game is the gravity system, and hopefully I can show you here. It's going to be pretty hard, but you see I can like swing into this, and, you know, I can go into the gravity here and then come out, so it kind of makes for fluent gameplay. And the good thing about it is it gives actual characters who don't have good movement, like the assassin, room to kind of move around in, you know, all directions. It adds like an extra element to it. Another thing is that you can press control and you will shoot behind you. The thing about this control is they said that it's not really for, you know, blindly shooting behind you so you can kill someone. It's more, I mean, that can work. You can probably kill someone like that. The biggest factor for it is, especially with like the Titan character with the rocket launcher, is that you can use it to come into this like gravity system and then like shoot behind you, and it will give you like kind of a speed boost. So that's kind of useful as well. Some other stuff, I did actually have the devs come into my stream, as I think I said earlier. In terms of competition, the game will have a ranked mode. They said not entirely sure on if it will be on release. They plan for the ranked mode to be on release, but they're not 100% sure it will be. In terms of esports, they said they would like the game to be esports, but it's up to the community to decide. Personally, my thoughts are that the game mode doesn't really work well for esports, neither of them. The reason why Overwatch sucks so much for esports and it's just so forced by Blizzard is because there's just too much stuff going on all the time, and you know, it's hard to watch, it's kind of boring to watch, it's kind of boring to play as well. This is definitely more fun to play, but I don't know if they'll put any, you know, different game modes in that will work better for esports, because it's kind of hard to like watch a game where you're trying to follow like a total of 10 players all moving around all alive at the same time, just taking points. We'll just have to see with time how that side of the game goes. Yeah, so like UT Quake or Overwatch and Unreal, you have like vials and stuff around to get HP. You don't actually have any HP regen, so you see here you have some vials. You also have these things here like healing pods, so you can sit inside them, you heal up. But the good thing about them is when you're in them, you can't, when you shoot when you're in them, you won't be healed, so you can't just sit in them and like, you know, sit there and then, you know, constantly be healed all the time. You have to basically come out, shoot, go back in, but it kind of works pretty well. I think that covers most things. I probably missed a couple of points, but the video is so long already and I'm in a rush to make it because the beta closes in a few hours. So I apologise, it's not very high quality, but hopefully it gave you some useful information. As I said at the start of the video, I'll be posting a couple of gameplays and stream highlights so you can see how fast-paced and cool this game is when I'm actually playing properly. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Ally acquired your battery. Battery strong.
Need a light? What the fuck?